Hello and welcome. I'm Nikita Kapoor and you're watching the Daily Jagran. In this special segment, I will bring you a few of the top stories making headlines across the globe. Let's begin. Donald Trump, a United States federal court has given a major blow to US President Donald Trump and his infamous tariff war by halting his latest attempt to impose new tariffs on imported goods. But what makes this story more than just a headline about trade policy is the excuse his team used to justify those tariffs. India and Pakistan, yes. Trump administration claimed that a ceasefire between India and Pakistan depended on what the United States is offering them, which Trump said is better trading terms, and that the new tariffs were somehow essential to that diplomatic effort. But the court did not buy it, and neither should we. Let's break this down. On May 10, a ceasefire was brokered between India and Pakistan post-Operation Sindoor, a significant diplomatic movement aimed at reducing tensions along the line of control. While this was largely seen as a result of regional and bilateral efforts, Team Trump had another version of the story. According to arguments submitted in the court, Trump's lawyers claimed that this fragile peace was only made possible because the United States promised both India and Pakistan greater access to its market. This is what Trump also has said. They argued that the new tariffs on completely unrelated imported goods were part of a wider diplomatic balancing act to prevent full-scale war. In simpler terms, we had to raise tariffs to stop a war between India and Pakistan. Absurd, right? The court wasn't convinced. The Federal Trade Court ruled that Trump had overstepped the authority granted to him by US trade law. The judges firmly stated that international diplomacy, especially peace efforts between India and Pakistan, cannot be used as a blanket justification for broad economic actions that fall outside Trump's presidential powers. They saw the excuse for what it really was, a way to mask a controversial domestic policy behind a dramatic international narrative. Let's not forget, Donald Trump has long positioned himself as the ultimate deal maker, and tariffs were his favorite tool. From China to Europe to Mexico, no one was spared, not even India. He repeatedly claimed that these tariffs were about protecting American jobs, punishing unfair trading partners, and reasserting US dominance. But when challenged in court, those same justifications would have fallen flat. So suddenly, out of nowhere, India and Pakistan were pulled into the picture. Not as trading partners, but as pawns in a high-stakes courtroom game. Let's ask the real question. Who stood to benefit from these tariffs? Not India, not Pakistan. No, the real beneficiary here is Donald Trump himself, trying to maintain his image as a global strategist and a tough trade warrior. And by dragging India and Pakistan into the mix, he gave his domestic agenda a dramatic international twist. India and Pakistan continue to walk the tightrope of peace and provocation on their own terms, driven by their own national interests. They are not and should not be props in someone else's courtroom drama, that too especially Donald Trump. Elon Musk, billionaire CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and tech's ultimate maverick, is officially stepping away from the Trump administration. After 130 turbulent and controversial days as a special government employee, Musk is leaving his post in the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. The White House has confirmed his departure. This was no conventional role, and it was no conventional exit either. Now, this wasn't Elon Musk, the electric car guy or the Mars visionary. This was Elon Musk, the government reformer brought in under Donald Trump's administration to help shrink and streamline the federal government. His official title? Special Government Employee. His mission? reduce bureaucracy, increase efficiency, and cost cut on a federal workforce that spans 2.3 million people. And according to the numbers, Musk did what he was assigned to do. A Reuters review found that under Trump and Doge, nearly 260,000 federal civilian jobs were slashed. That's 12% of the workforce. How? Through a mix of firing threats, buyout offers, and early retirement. The Trump administration is calling it a victory, but critics call it chaos, a mass exit that gutted departments, disrupted services, and demoralized workers. On his final day, Elon Musk thanked President Trump, signaling that while his official role is ending, the mission, as he puts, will continue. The White House was quick to confirm the departure. Elon Musk's stint in the government was always a bit of a puzzle, and while Trump saw Musk as a useful ally in his war on the so-called deep state, the truth is the alliance always had a ticking clock. So what does Musk's exit really mean? For the federal government, it's the end of a bold experiment. For Trump, it's one less star in his campaign. For Musk, it's back to Mars, back to Tesla, and back to tweeting without any federal filter at all. Donald Trump versus Harvard University explodes. US President Donald Trump has escalated his war of words against Harvard University, launching a controversial and widely criticized attack on its international student admissions. His latest demand? Cap foreign student intake at just 15%. That's less than half of what it currently is. And his reasoning? He says foreign students are troublemakers. Some even coming from what he calls very radicalized regions. Trump said, and I quote, "We don't want to see shopping centers explode. We don't want riots." Those are serious accusations. Currently, about 25 to 31% of Harvard's full-time students are international students. That's a number Trump finds too high, and so he proposes a drastic cut to 15%, suggesting American students are being displaced. But here's the thing, Harvard's admission process is not based on nationality quotas, it's based on merit, diversity, academic excellence, and global representation. And international students often pay full tuition, contribute to research, and go on to become leaders and innovators. This is not Trump's first swipe at foreign students. Student visas are being targeted repeatedly. From visa delays to deportations, international education has often found itself in the crosshairs. Remember, Trump is demanding that Harvard hand over the conduct record of all foreign students, something the university has refused to do. Listen in to Donald Trump's all-out attack at the Harvard University.
Harvard has to show us their lists. They have foreign students. About 31% of their students are foreign-based, almost 31%. We want to know where those students come. Are they troublemakers? What countries do they come? And we're not going to, if somebody is coming from a certain country and they're 100% fine, which I hope most of them are, but many of them won't be, you're going to see some very radical people. They're taking people from areas of the world that are very radicalized, and we don't want them making trouble in our country. So I saw yesterday that in the middle of the UK, there was a nice young man. He wants to go back to school at Harvard, and he looked good to me, but I want to check his past. But we want to be able to see why, these countries aren't helping us. They're not investing in Harvard and all of we are. So why would 31%, why would a number so big? I think, number one, I think they should have a cap of maybe around 15%, not 31%. We have people want to go to Harvard and other schools. They can't get in because we have foreign students there. But I want to make sure that the foreign students are people that can love our country. We don't want to see shopping centers exploding. We don't want to see the kind of riots that you had. And I'll tell you what, many of those students didn't go anywhere. Many of those students were troublemakers caused by the radical left.
In a country where faith and identity run deep, a bold statement from a BJP leader has triggered a wave of debate, discussion, and yes, controversy. Jamal Siddiqui, national president of the BJP's Minority Morcha, has claimed that Muslims are descendants of Lord Ram. He has gone further, suggesting that Lord Ram and Lord Krishna may be among the 124,000 prophets recognized in Islamic tradition, even saying that those Muslims who do not believe in Ram and Krishna cannot be called Muslims. This is what he said. Those are strong words. In an interview with India Today, Siddiqui drew deeply personal and philosophical connections between Sanatan Dharma and Islam, describing Sanatan Dharma as the foundation of civilization. He said that Muslims are Sanatanis. Now let's be clear. These are not offhand remarks. This is a BJP leader from the Minority Morcha making an intentional and elaborate controversial statement. Siddiqui's argument draws on Islamic tradition, which recognizes not just Prophet Muhammad, but thousands of prophets before him. He cites Hadith and Islamic history to argue. He said, and I quote, "How can we say Lord Ram and Krishna were not among the prophets?" This is his words. Jamal Siddiqui's remark has triggered yet another war of words in the political corridors. AIMIM chief is at it again. Asaduddin Owaisi is leaving no stone unturned in showing Pakistan the mirror. Owaisi, while speaking at an event in Saudi Arabia, exposed Pakistan's propaganda against India. Owaisi said that Pakistan portrays India as an anti-Muslim nation to the Arab world. Owaisi further said that 240 million proud Indian Muslims are living in India. Listen in to Owaisi's fierce expose.
Most unfortunate part is that Pakistan gives out a wrong message to the Arab world and to the Muslim world that we are a Muslim country and India is not a Muslim country. But Your Excellency, you have more knowledge about worldly affairs, that there are 240 million proud Indian Muslims living in India. And not only that, we have our Islamic scholars are much better than any scholars in the world. They can speak the best of Arabic language. In fact, we have some famous Islamic scholars who have done great work in the Hanafi fiqh jurisprudence, and their judgments are accepted by the religious scholars of anywhere in the world. So this Pakistan's false propaganda that India is hurting us because we're a Muslim country, it is completely wrong. And in fact, Pakistan, if it stops these Takfiri terrorist groups, there will be stability in South Asia, there will be progress in South Asia. And Pakistan has put obstacles even in the SARC. India wanted a bilateral railway agreement between all the SARC countries. India wanted Bangladesh, India train, but Pakistan has always not allowed it. So we hope that our delegation, which is here on this purpose to request you to bring to your light what Pakistan has been doing in India, and this false propaganda of Pakistan that they have this great military prowess and nothing like that. What happened on the 9th, their 9 air bases were targeted. If India had wanted, we could have completely damaged those air bases, but we wanted to show them a mirror and say that, look, we are warning you, don't do it. Don't force us to go on that path, wherein instead of creating a crater, we'll create graves for you. But 9 terrorist organizations' headquarters were targeted, and another shocking thing was this person who led the namaz-e-janaza of all those terrorists who were killed over there. The namaz-e-janaza was performed by a person who's again a designated US terrorist. And in namaz-e-janaza you have these proscribed organization members along with the Pakistani army.
In a shocking development that should rattle every conscience, Lashkar-E-Taiba commander Saifullah Kasuri, the man India holds responsible for the gruesome Pahalgam terror attack, has resurfaced in full public view, not in hiding, not in fear, but on a stage in Pakistan, right next to politicians and designated terrorists. This was not some underground militant huddle, no. This was a political rally, that too an anti-India rally hosted by Pakistan Markazi Muslim League to celebrate Yawm-e-Takbir, Pakistan's Nuclear Pride Day. And on this stage of hate stood a mass murderer. This is the same Saifullah Kasuri believed to be the mastermind of the Pahalgam massacre, a blood-soaked day when terrorists gunned down 26 innocent lives in meadows of Baisaran in Kashmir. And if that wasn't sickening enough, next to Kasuri was Talha Saeed, son of UN-designated global terrorist Hafiz Saeed, the man behind the 26/11 Mumbai attacks. And then this very monster, Saifullah Kasuri, went on to boast his crime. He said, and I quote, these are his words, "I was blamed as being the mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack. Now my name is famous in the entire world." Not remorse, not regret, boastful pride in mass murder. And now, how did his Pakistani followers respond? They clapped, they cheered, they let him share the stage with politicians. This is not the first time Pakistan has paraded terrorists proudly. From Hafiz Saeed to Masood Azhar, from Dawood Ibrahim to now Kasuri and Talha Saeed, every major enemy of India has found a welcome mat laid out in Islamabad. So let the world watch. Let every government, every international body see how do you negotiate with a nation that worships its terrorists as its own heroes. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh reiterated India's stand on tensions with Pakistan. He clarified that India will hold talks with Pakistan over only and only Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. This comes after Shehbaz Sharif, during his visit to Tehran, expressed his interest in talks with India, that too on Indus Water Treaty. India has again made it clear that only matter that concerns India is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Rajnath Singh also made an emotional appeal to the people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. As tensions are heightened, Rajnath urged people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to listen to their inner voice. Listen in.
इसका अंदाजा आज पाकिस्तान को हो चुका है। फिर से मैं दोहराना चाहूंगा, आतंकवाद का कारोबार चलाना कास्ट इफेक्टिव नहीं है, बल्कि उसकी एक भारी कीमत अदा करनी पड़ सकती है। इसका अनुमान आज पाकिस्तान को हो चुका है। हमने आतंकवाद के खिलाफ भारत की स्ट्रेटजी और रिस्पांस दोनों को रीडिजाइन और रीडिफाइन किया है। हमने पाकिस्तान के साथ अपने एंगेजमेंट और स्कोप ऑफ डायलॉग को रिकैलिब्रेट किया है। अब जब भी बात होगी, केवल आतंकवाद पर बात होगी, पीओके पर बात होगी और किसी दूसरे मुद्दे पर पाकिस्तान के साथ बात नहीं होगी। वो दूसरा मुद्दा कौन हो सकता है जिस पर पाकिस्तान बात करना चाहेगा, वो आप जानते हैं। साथियों, मैं मानता हूं कि आज पाक ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर के लोग हमारे अपने हैं। आप मानते हैं ना? पाक ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर के लोग वो हमारे अपने हैं, हमारे परिवार का हिस्सा हैं। हम प्रधानमंत्री के श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के संकल्प के लिए पूरी तरह से प्रतिबद्ध हैं और हमें यह पूर्ण विश्वास है कि हमारे वो भाई जो आज हमसे भौगोलिक और राजनीतिक रूप से अलग हैं।
A promising path lies ahead for the Indian economy. That's the resounding message from the Reserve Bank of India's annual report for 2024-25 released just today. The central bank's outlook for the next fiscal year 25-26 is optimistic, robust and confident. And that optimism is not unfounded. It is grounded in key economic fundamentals: a surge in consumption, in demand, strong institutional balance sheets, and a government that's maintaining a careful strategic balance between growth and fiscal prudence. Let's break this down. The RBI says, and I quote, "The outlook for the Indian economy remains promising in 2025-26, supported by revival in consumption demand, government's continued thrust on capital expenditure while adhering to the path of fiscal consolidation." That essentially means people are spending more, companies are investing more, and the government is spending wisely. This combination is proving to be the bedrock of India's economic stability and resilience. The central bank has praised the government's focus on capital expenditure, investment into infrastructure, technology, and national capacity building, which continues to drive economic activity. And importantly, all this is happening without throwing fiscal responsibility out the window. The report points to the health of India's banking sector and the balance sheets of Indian corporates, both showing signs of strength. This gives businesses the confidence to borrow, invest, and expand, and gives consumers the optimism to spend. In fact, consumer and business confidence are both rising, a crucial ingredient for sustained economic growth. And when we look outward, India's global trade engagement is also expanding. Our participation in 14 free trade agreements and 6 preferential trade agreements, along with upcoming deals with the United States, the European Union, Oman, and Peru, shows that India is not just looking inwards, but also firmly stepping into global markets. To sum up, the picture painted by the RBI's annual report is one of strength, potential, and responsibility. The Indian economy is not just growing, it is growing with discipline, purpose, and vision. 25-26 could well be a defining chapter in India's economic journey, where domestic resilience meets global ambition and where fiscal prudence aligns with bold innovation. No end to monsoon mayhem in parts of India. Maharashtra is expected to reel under nature's fury for the next 24 hours. The Met Department has issued a red alert for heavy to very heavy rainfall in parts of Maharashtra, including Mumbai, Thane, Raigad, and Ratnagiri. Streets in severely affected areas of Maharashtra are still waterlogged. Roads are submerged. Gujarat, Goa, and Madhya Pradesh too will witness heavy rainfall. Kerala is also witnessing heavy rainstorm with low pressure system formed over the northwest Bay of Bengal off the Odisha coast, intensifying into a depression. Meanwhile, the Met Department has predicted thunderstorms, gusty winds, and rainfall in Delhi and NCR region. The national capital is under orange alert with strong winds reaching speeds up to 70 kilometers per hour. This is all what we have time for in this special segment. For more news and updates, you can subscribe to the Daily Jagran. You can also log on to thedailyjagran.com. Thank you for tuning in. This is Nikita Kapoor signing off.